Alright, this is going to be just a short video on filler valve mods and what I use when I modify the filler valve on, say, for like Zamas that have a solid pin and let's see, those Calibri John Sterling models that have a solid pin, and various other lighters that you're able to adapt to go ahead and to do this. I might have a modified. Let me see. I might have went ahead and installed that as another guy's lighter. I think I did. Yeah. Now I'm talking about something like Zama. This here. This is Zama here. It's got this one's with solid pin. Okay. So. Anyway, this type of valve, the Calibri, let's see if I got that body in here. This is it here. Let's see, this is Calibri here. And this has got the valve in it that you're going to have a wrench like this to get it out, okay? Alright. So all these lighters like this, you know, they're solid pin. You can use these valves to modify them. Now on these Calibri ones, I use this here, right? This here valve here. Okay, now you can get these valves online. Just look up Ronson filler valves, and these are replacement sets. Now these are the 4.5. Okay. These are the 4.5 OD, and they have a 0.5 millimeter thread pitch. Alright. Now, if you're not knowing, get you one of these tools online, and they got these little thread pitch gauges here. And that way you can measure, you know, the thread pitch on your valve and make sure that you're using the appropriate tap and everything. Alright. Now, another thing is that I don't have any of the drill bits here for this, but when you're tapping a 4.5 millimeter thread for this valve here, you want the hole size wants to be 4 millimeter. Okay, you want about a 0.5 millimeter less than your valve size. Okay, here's what I got. I got 2 taps here, and this here, this is the 4.5. Okay, this one, as you can see here, I've got this one labeled right here, 4.5 by 0.5. Right here. Okay, so drill a hole there and I tap it out. Alright, and I just use this, screw it in there. Now, and that's basically it on that their particular valve. Now I have used a 3.7 millimeter bit drilling out, and that's what I got, but you're better off going with the I just found out later on that, you know, you want about a 0.5 millimeter under the size, the outer diameter of the valve. So this 4.5 millimeter tap, use a 4 millimeter drill. Okay. Alright. Now, this here valve here, I got off AliExpress, or I did get some smaller ones in here too. They have a smaller head on them, but they're KWA airsoft valves. Now, these valves here are a 5mm. Okay, you know what I mean by 5mm. Let me get here and show you what I mean. I'm close to it, you know. Not always exact, but 476, you got to have some clearance there. But and I use on these here. Now I do have some 5mm airsoft valve in here too, like these here. This guy who sells these, he'll sell the bigger ones too. Alright, we got a few of those just for some odd reason, just in case I need them. Okay, so this takes a 4.5mm drill bit to tap out the hole, to make a hole to tap out this 5mm by 0.5, okay? Alright, now what I like to use this on, I don't know, I get them out, you can look them up on AliExpress, and I like to use those on my Flaminaire F12 modification. See how the head's bigger on this one here than this one? When I use this on the Flaminaire F12, it pretty well comes up to the inside of the case. There isn't much play, whereas this one here, it could be a little gap in between it. Now each one of these valves, if you get on there, this tool right here, this works for each one of these valves here. And this also works for a SAFA 21 lighter here if you want to remove the filler valves out of that. It's perfect for that as well. So for this in here, 4.5mm drill bits. Alright, 4.5mm drill bits. And 5mm tap. That snugs down there. That snugs down there tighter than you'll ever need. I used to put these on the Flaminaire F12, but the tip of it came out a little bit. I'm doing a video! But anyway, that's kind of it on that. I just wanted to basically show you this here, so you'll know you got a 4.5mm drill bit to drill out a hole with a 5mm by 0.5mm tap for these in particular valves here. Okay. Now these smaller valves, KWA valves, will work in the this here, but they're not as, I don't know, they're not as tight as I like. That's just me. And you got the 4.5mm tap here, but you got to have a 4mm drill bit to tap out, to drill the hole before you tap these here out, these Ronson valves here. Alright, now I like, I've also did lots of things on these, and I can't remember what I do anymore on these. How do I do these? I've come across a simple way. I have taken these KWA valves, stick them in a drill bit, spin them around, and knock the head down on it, so the head fits down in here, okay? And I cut this down a little bit too, and what happens is the valve sticks out around, then I'll go ahead and sand everything down, and I'll just leave it in there and I'll solder around it and we're good. I just gotta install everything back into the KWA valve. Don't leave the internals in it, you know, while you're doing all that. But that's pretty much it that I can think of right now. The Zama lighters too, guys, vary. They vary quite a bit as far as type of valves you'll get in them, and you know, some of them will be like, I think this one here is an 8mm. Let's see. I think this is an 8mm. No, it isn't. That's a 10mm, I think. I think this will get that. Yeah. This will also too here. This little tool will take out them Zama. Okay, filler valves. So one thing I like about this. This is a good quality product. Get this on it, AliExpress as well. Okay. Very good quality. I'll tell you another thing too, when you get this, that O-ring in there, put some grease around it, otherwise this thing's hard to poke in. See how tight that is? The air pressure in there. Anyway, look how it fits in there. This is a good tool here, folks. Okay. If I wish any improvement on this knurl will be a little bit more aggressive, but nevertheless, it's an excellent tool. All right. I think that's pretty much all I can think of as far as that goes. I pretty much think that's pretty well it as far as filler valve tools needed for modifications. Okay. Anyway. Alright, guys. I hope that helps somebody out who wants to do a particular type filler valve mod, you know, on their lighter. It has a solid pin. That way you don't have to use an adapter, and these valves make it so much easier to fill your lighter and to bleed them. There's just no comparison. Them solid pin lighters without the appropriate adapter to them, guys, and sometimes, you know, those lighters, when they were made, they had one in a box with a lighter, but after, you know how it goes, you know, stuff sits around, gets lost, and people sell those lighters or whatever, and they don't come with that adapter, and it's almost a freaking nightmare to get them filled, you know. If you do have one and you wanna fill it, you wanna use this type of fill valve right here. Filler valve. See how, well, this one's kind of burgered up. Let me find one that isn't burgered up. I think maybe this one. Yeah, this is good. This is what you want to use. You know, if you're doing a solid pin, you want this one. See how it's got an offset hole in it? The reason it's got an offset hole is because the pin hits that plastic, it pushes it in, it lets butane out, and actually butane goes around the pin inside the lighter. There ain't a lot of clearance. It's kind of a crappy design, but you know what? It is what it is. So if you get a can of butane, you know, and you're looking for one, you know, like me, I got this that I got here. I got this Whippet butane. If I buy these because it's $4.99 for a can. Let's see what they got inside here. If I remember right, I think I took them out, but yeah, they come with one. They come with one as well. See, just make sure you pull it apart. You know, you look inside the cap, and make sure you got one of these in there, All right, I think that's pretty much going to be it on everything. But anyway, guys, I hope this video does some good for anybody out there.